Welcome back, friends. In the series of Java interview questions and answers, our today's topic will be multi-threading. So, multi-threading is a vast topic, and trust me, we'll be covering every depth of the multi-threading so that the core concepts are clear and our base is strong. So, let's begin with the problem statement. And uh, the problem statement is we have to design our own custom callback mechanism in the Java. Basically, if the JavaScript people will better understand what is the callback, or in simple terms, if any process is happening or if any execution is happening into the multi-threading environment, how we can wait for that response in the multi-threading. Let me first write public. I will not return anything for a while. Public void async call do async API. Async API. So this is suppose you are doing a REST query here, or suppose you are doing a get or post query here, and let me synchronize this. So synchronized this, and suppose it's returning an array list, right? Array list. So let me write the list. So we should change the response to array list here, or list itself, lists, and then I will write array list equals to new array list. Okay, we can make this list as integer list. So I can simply write integers, and then for now what we can do is in the for loop, since we are focusing on the designing part, so we can write a for loop, and we can simply write int I equals to 0, I less than, let me define one variable max range, private int max range. So I less than max range, I plus plus, right? So I plus plus, and what we will be doing is just we will add integers dot add I. So simply we will be doing, so we are not hitting any REST query. We will cover that part when we are going through that topic. For now we can consider that we are hitting a REST query, and it's just giving the list as integers response. Now what we can do is we can return this integers, right? So let me write the return integers. No, it should not give me that. So this is the first thing. Now suppose anyone who is executing this async API, do async API, wants to wait for the response at some point of time. So we have to write that mechanism now. So suppose we have written another method, public void get. So this is the get example. This is the example. Void get. Yeah. This is the example. In the future callback also, callable mechanism also, we do get and wait for the response. So let's synchronize this as well. Now we'll see the simple solution. What we can do is, if this thing is not happened, we will make it wait, right? Here, and if this async API is completed, we will not make it wait, or we will notify it. So let me make a variable also, boolean variable, which will track, or any other thing. We can make the list size also, which will track the response or the execution of async API. Private int method async API boolean private boolean task completed is task completed, right? There is some typo. be fine now. Yeah, this task completed. Sorry. So what we can do is, by default the value will be false for the class level variable. One thing important to note here is a class level variable is false, and a local method level variable is there is no default value for the method level variables. Now what we can do is, after this task is completed, I can write here is task completed equals to true, right? And what I can do here is, I can write the same condition if task is not completed. If is task completed is false, means the task is not completed. I will ask this to wait. This dot wait. So I will have to surround it with the try catch. So in the real example, we will throw the exception. The real get method of the future and callable in Java in real implementation. So yeah, we have surrounded it with the try catch, and now what we can do is we can is task completed. So suppose any thread hit this first, so what it will be, it will be in waiting state, right? So it will not execute further until we will notify it. We notify, it will get activated, and then it depends whether it will take the lock or not take the lock. So we should notify. First thing is we should notify. We can do notify all or notify as well. So since we will be running only 2 threads, so I will just do notify and error print. Yeah. So if task is completed, not completed, it should wait, right? If task is not completed, it should wait. It's waiting. Now what will happen is once it is notified, it should come out and it should send the response. So we will change it, and what we will do is we will do list, okay, and we will send the response as so for that we have to make this as a global list, and what we can do is private list integers list, and by default value will be null. What I can do is I can write integers here, integers, and then I can move this one. Integers equals to new array list. I should put it into async block, asynchronous block, so that no other there are no two integers list. And then I can return that integer list here, right? And return integers. So it will be returning the list. Now what will happen is, suppose 2 threads are executing. One thread is waiting for the one thread is just on the get. So the key point here is the thread can be main thread also, which will be doing get here most of the scenarios. So main thread will wait here, and this thread will notify, then main thread will execute from here itself. Line number 33 we have already seen in the past video how wait, notify and notify all works. So basically it will execute from this particular point of the time on particular line only where it went into the wait state, and it will get awake because this notify all is called, but it will not take the lock until it get the chance to acquire the lock. Once it take the lock, it will execute from the line number 33. So it will take the lock when it will come out of the block. So here, since we don't have any line after 23, so it will immediately come out of the lock, but otherwise it depends upon the scenario. So it will come out of the lock, and it will take then it is since it is in the synchronized state, not in the wait state, I will say. So it will take the lock. It will take the lock and it will execute from after line number 33, and then it will return the integers. So this is the concept, and let's return integers, right? So this is done. Okay, so as simple as this design is very simple. So you can quickly design your own future callable mechanism in Java. It's as simple as that. Now let me call this in a separate thread, new Java class, async future custom callback, right? Async callable, or what should we write in the better name is, I could rate it async callback thread. So let me write a complete name, async callback thread. I will prefer the name callback here, so it's easy to understand. Callback means it will wait for the response. So let me create a thread here, and we will create the two threads again. So I will directly write thread do async operation, right? Do async operations, and then we will do new thread, and then what we will be doing is we will be writing here again new runnable, right? Runnable, yeah. So what we can do is, inside the runnable, we have already seen in the previous video, we can use the lambda expressions as well. We are purposely doing it so that we will understand the benefit of using lambda, how we can write it in a shorthand way. So what I will be doing is, I will create the object of custom callback here, custom callback, new custom callback, and let me create the getter setter then. So what I will be doing is, I will be generating getter setter of max range only, right? Generate getter setter of max range. Yeah, we have generated the getter setter of max range. So first thing first, I should do there, and the async callback thread, I should set the limit. So custom callback voids, yeah. So I should move this whole implementation into main method. So I used to like typing, so that's the reason I was not doing args, string arguments, right? So we have written the main button, and I will write it here. So do async operation, and first thing I will have to set the range. Custom callback dot set max range. Suppose we have written 1000. Okay, usually async operations take time, so let's write it at 1000. And then what we will be doing is void run. It will run it. So in this run operation, what we will be doing is custom callback dot do async API, right? Now suppose our main thread wants to wait for the response, right? So we can do here custom callback dot get. I think I have made it as a private method, so let me change it to, yeah, get is this public list get. So let's go back and just use get. Yeah. So yeah, the benefit here is, suppose main method again wants to do some other async API and he doesn't want to wait for the response, so he can do that as well. So for suppose main thread is doing some other operations here, so it can do like something for something it can do I equals to 0, I less than, let's say 50. I have purposely taken 50 because we have taken 1000 then. So something main method wants to do, and now it can do system dot out dot and I, right? Suppose this is some other operation. I have just to define some operation I am doing like this. Suppose this is some and after completing that operation, main method needs to wait, or main method needs the response of this API. So what main method can do is, main method can do custom callback dot get, and here it will get the list of response. So we can sorry, list integers, right? Yeah, and then we can print that. So integers, sorry. So what will happen is, main thing is, main method started this custom callback to do async API is happening in some other thread, right? And main method is continuing its task. Then main method will come here and it will do get, but in once it go to get, this is another thread, this is the main thread, so it will have to wait until the task is not finished. And once it will wait, and then it will come back here, and then come back here, and once it will get the response, it will print the response. There could be other combinations, like this operation is building something, and the result of this operation is required in the response of this custom callback. So that's why this callback mechanism is useful. Now let me run it and see whether it's so what will be the response which we can expect is, it will print this one, and then it will wait for the response, and then it will print the response. So let me run it now. Yeah, system.out.println integers. So let me run it, and let me make it in the full screen. Sorry, yeah. Okay, so it's 49, and then it should, oh okay, so we have not started this async operation thread. Let me correct it, async operation. Yeah, I should have started this thread as well. So do async operations, do async operations dot start, right? We should have started this method as well, and let me rerun it. I have run it into debugger mode, so that if anything break, we will be able to identify. Yeah, so see, now it's working. So what it printed, it main method started doing it some other operation, 1 2 3 4 5 6 parallelly, that async API was happening, and then it waited for the response, and then it printed. So let me take a big number, instead it should do 10,000, let's say like this. So now see, we will be able to notice something, I think. Yeah, so see, it took little time, right? Yeah, or we can do something as other. So basically main method will do it task, whatever it want to do, and then when it wants the response of the async API or any async operation, it can wait. So that is the fundamental here. And we can do is, we can increment here further, and we can decrease it to, let's say 10, and then we can see it. So let me rerun it. So yeah, it's clean. Now see 9, and then it will wait. So see 9, it printed here, and then it started waiting, and then it got the response, and it do the. So basically it's waiting for the response to get finished, and once the response is there, it will we can do whatever from the response and the operations which we were doing parallelly. Okay, so this is the way we can design the custom callback or custom callable mechanism in Java. Hope you enjoyed the content. We'll come into the next video.